Hello my friends, let's go straight to the front line. We have two of the good news coming from the Pokrovsk direction. Well, first of all, Ukraine took the part of the Udachne village. We have the confirmation this village is very important because it is located on a railroad. And here we have the drone video showing Ukrainian army in operation. And later on, Ukrainian soldiers put a flag on one of the buildings which was liberated. It confirms the presence of Ukrainian soldiers in northwestern part of the village. And the close perspective footage. The rest of Udachne is still in a gray area. This village is going from one hand to another already several of the times. But because of this road and the railway, it definitely plays significant role. Plus, after Udachne, there is the open field area towards Sergeyevka. There are no any more settlements in this place, which means that if Russia takes that, plus Kotlina, they might move to cut the E50 road, the main one supply road for Pokrovsk. And for this reason, Ukraine counterattacks in Udachne, not to lose it completely. The circumstances for this loss could be dramatic for Pokrovsk, Mirnograd altogether. And there is one more place in this area where Ukraine started the counteroffensive. Ukrainian forces actually were spotted in Mirna before, like 1 week ago or something. But today we have the new confirmation that Ukraine took a part of Novoye Ekonomichne under control. Well, some of the analytics from Ukraine say that Novoye Ekonomichne village was liberated fully. They said that Ukrainian forces went through all of the streets. But we have just this drone image showing the presence of Ukrainian army not far away from the local church. And again, Ukrainian flag was put on one of the buildings. I think it's the local school or something like that. Oh no, that's the post building, but it was destroyed. Also, we have the presence of Ukrainian army. We may check different Telegram channels. Well, 100% Ukrainian presence is out there, and it's not like very small sabotage group. No, those are regular Ukrainian armed forces. Because you know the variants with couple of the Russian soldiers going to the gray area and putting the flag somewhere. But for Ukraine, I haven't seen those kind of the cases, and usually Ukrainian flags at least last for some time. As for Russians, immediately that they are spotted, they are just ambushed by drone strikes. And their flags as well, just check out my recent videos about the stuff and you'll see everything. Well, the idea of this Ukrainian counterattack is obvious, it's just to push Russians away from Mirnograd. However, there was the risk for our guys to get trapped. You see this blue corridor they created, but Russians tried to offense from Mikhailivka with their armored vehicles. It is not just my analysis, we have it from the Micro73 analytic who posted those kind of the military maps. Russians went here and attacked trying to trap Ukrainian army. But if you check the evidence, you'll see that it didn't work well for Russians. Yeah, here we have the drone image showing the Russian convoy, so motorcycles, all-terrain vehicles and armored vehicles, plus what is this? Is this a civilian one? Well, I don't think so, and this convoy was capoted on the way. Then there was one more attempt. Several of the armored vehicles moved to Mirnograd, and here they were hit by drones. One more Russian big attack, I would say, because then Russia uses more than 3 vehicles, it is already a big attack. And I guess Ukraine even used HIMARS system or something really big, because it's not the usual artillery shell or drone strike here. The Deep State military map source report that Russia lost 9 of the armored vehicles in many of the areas. Some of them were not even capable to get into Ukrainian positions. So there was this attack attempt to cut Ukrainian army in Novoye Ekonomichne and straightforward attack also to Novoye Ekonomichne, where Ukraine went recently and moved further, but this attack for Russia and this one totally failed. By the way, Russians used the forces of 155th Putin's favorite brigade, Russian Marines, who did lots of the war crimes in this war in Kharkiv region, in Kiev Oblast, Bucha. Well, just a couple of months ago, Ukraine decapitated brigade launching the strike in Kursk region on their command headquarters. Russia lost generals, colonels and other officers. So we see that Pokrovsk direction is the #1 priority for the Russian army despite its losses in this area. Moreover, according to the most recent information, Russia sends their main reserves to Pokrovsk. There are 3 main objectives for them. First, to occupy Pokrovsk and Mirnograd, plus expand towards Dobropilya. You might see those attack vectors here. They want to encircle the main cities of Slavyansk, Kramatorsk and Konstantinovka. attacking from many of the sides. Yeah, the second reason or the stage is to break through main Ukrainian defense line once again. And the third part of the plan is Konstantinovka, so Russia potentially has tens of thousands of the new reinforcements, which are on the way or already were sent to the front lines in this entire direction. So I expect that this month Russia will try to repeat their attack, which happened 3 weeks ago towards Zoloty Kolodets. Maybe this time it could be even more successful because of the significant reinforcements Russian army sent to this region, and the Ukrainian command obviously needs to calculate all of the risks. To improve the chances, Russia took the forces from Sumy and Kherson region to reinforce this one, Pokrovsk direction. Well, maybe that's why Ukraine is on counterattack here and also in Udachne, just to disturb the Russian army, and they have to react, you see, trying to also trap Ukrainian armed forces, but it doesn't look great for Russia. They lose lots of the armored vehicles and obviously infantry forces. We'll see how it goes, but I do expect the major strike from Russia very soon. If we check out the deep state map, they have delay in their analysis. They don't want to publish the current information so far, so I have to rely on other analytics. Nevertheless, here they show that Russian army propelled not far away from Voskresenka, and Russians took Voskresenka fully under their control, occupying the village. However, this move, well, it's still kind of slow move, I would say. Yeah, it is slow for today, but if we go 7 days ago, you can see here is the update. So 1 week ago and today. And the 1st of August, you see how far Russia moved for 1 month. But for the last week, I would say their pace slowed down and they'll concentrate again the forces in Pokrovsk direction. We see that Russia is not attacking in Sumy region. Ukraine uses aviation to strike Totkino, for example, plus those occupied villages with the Russian forces. And also Ukraine tries a little to improve situation in Kupiansk, but for now without significant movement. Also, I expect that in a nearby future we're gonna see more sabotage groups of the Russian army in Pokrovsk, and Russia may even try to send their regular armed forces full scale. As they did, for example, in this attack. Well, Pokrovsk, I would say it's already in a gray zone. It is not safe at all to be in this settlement. The Institute for the Study of War also confirms the information that Russia redeploys their forces, elite naval infantry brigades and airborne VDV forces to Donetsk Oblast from the northern Sumy and Kherson directions, exactly as I told you, but I had this information before this analysis. So autumn or fall 2025, there will be new offensive operation of the Russian army in Donetsk, Donbass, Dobrapila, Pokrovsk and Konstantinovka areas. Yeah, exactly what I've told you. Well, this operation potentially could bring severe losses for Russians. Absolutely crazy ones if they advance right away with a mid-wave major strikes. Just the last weekend they lost 9 vehicles in Mirnograd alone without achieving results, and just imagine if they use the big number of the forces. It's gonna be crazy for them, but they have still chance to break through again. But for how long and for what cost and what is next? You know, it seems like Putin thinks that his army is just infinite. In fact, it's not like that. Alright, Simferopol airfield. I was wondering what Ukraine used out there. I thought drones. Yeah, those were drones, but I didn't know that those were FPV drones. The airplane type of the FPV drones, and this is the Mi-8 helicopter of the Russian army, which was hit. Just yesterday I've told you about Simferopol International Airport. At first I thought that it is the military airport, at least it could be, yeah, because it's very close to commercial one, but after all, it is a commercial airfield where the Russian army places its military. So one helicopter is gone and there is the other one, also I guess Mi-8 helicopter. Yeah, it's very hard to control those kind of the drones. I think they should be modernized and developed. Well, this drone hit the ground in front of the helicopter. However, it was very close, so helicopter caught fire and burned down. We saw it on satellite images with you before. With this video, we have just different perspective. And also the Russian Navy ship or tugboat, yeah, was hit by a drone as well. Oh, what's that? Those are the pictures of the Russian FSB officers of the border control. They were placed in headquarters in Belgorod region. 5 days ago, Mr. Heimers decided to visit their place. Successful visit, as you may see judging on this picture. And it's not the only FSB headquarters which was attacked recently. Also, Ukraine launched missile towards Armyansk at the border with Crimea, where we have the confirmation about Kaboom, as rumors say Ukraine used Flamingo missiles. But honestly, I don't have the confirmation about that missile in real active battle use yet, even though some of the YouTubers, they say about first strikes of Flamingo missiles, but we have just statements. We don't have the visual identity of this cruise missile. But nevertheless, in Armyansk, the strike was also successful, and maybe we're gonna see those kind of the photos from that part as well. Baba Yaga drone operation, really harmful for Russian positions, and it may fly for a very long distance. Yeah, at least they have generator still working. But the vehicles are no-go. This one and that one. One more. This is motorcycle. As you can see, it's gone. I think it's different position. Also, lost buggies, they're all-terrain vehicles. Yeah, everything is gone there. And the cover itself is not the cover any longer. Baba Yaga drone really rules, and Russians do not have those kind of the drones in their army. Yeah, someone may say that it's some sort of the swamp, but no. Yeah, it's okay water for Russians to drink, and this guy, he's really satisfied with that swamp. The Russian soldier says that it's the best moment for him to find the swamp or pond to have the drinkable water. I wonder if it is really drinkable. I think they can boil it after all, and it could become drinkable, at least partially, but still it will have some certain smell. My friends, thank you so much for motivating me to film more with your kind support on Patreon. The link for my Patreon is in the video description just below, and I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.